Ever really wonder how you could really connect with your audience? Well, this particular spirited man shows us that it doesn't have to be about the usual YouTube advice of keyword research, well-defined niches, or clickbait. That it can just be about authentic storytelling. Well, maybe a little bit of clickbait. And if the comment section is any indication at all, he's found a group that really connects with him. But how does any of this make sense? How are these seemingly random videos about one man's experience connecting with all these people and with myself? And if there is a manual on how to succeed on YouTube simply by focusing on sharing our stories that connects with people, I'm in. And maybe, just maybe, this brand of authenticity is actually needed for the rise of the next generation of YouTube videos. And with that said, let's break it down. So the phrase spirited man was repeated 24 times in his first full video. That's once every 5 seconds. Well, after letting that sink in for a second, 2 thoughts come to mind. First, if you repeat something that many times, people are gonna remember it. It's not unlike any company that actually advertises with their slogan over and over again. So in the same way, we should also consider what are the unique things about your story or your brand that is worth repeating. In my video about Ali Abdal's template for writing videos, we looked at how Ali brilliantly incorporated this very same idea into his script writing process. He basically has a section of notes in his video template that reminds him to include the unique things about who he is in every video, like his love for Harry Potter characters, or that he's making fun of himself as an Apple fanboy, that anyone else who uses anything else is considered a heathen. But back to Van for a second. How did he manage to repeat himself that many times to 800,000 people, and apparently 560,000 people wanted more? Because if you think about it, almost every video of his has featured some series of old found footage, whether it's photographs or videos. And in his latest video, Why Comedians Are the Most Important Artists of Our Time, he typed up an entire book, cut it up, mounted it on a piece of paper as an extremely unscientific way to figure out what is art. And in the end, his conclusion was,
the experiment had served its purpose. This spirited man understood now what made this work of art a work of art. What made this work of art a work of art is that it preserved the human spirit.
So maybe that's how he's making a connection. He's preserving the feelings and thoughts and introspection that he's had in those moments and preserving it in a way that we can understand. So even though it seems like a series of random videos, we can connect with them on a human level. And maybe it's like lyrics to a song. He's giving us a way to express the feelings that we have, but not yet have the words for, or have the time to reflect on. But is that really why people have continued to watch this? Because we're hooked onto how this one person sees the world? I think there's probably more to this, at least one more thing that I can think of. And he's either knowingly or unknowingly taking us on a ride.
The spirited man knows he is a spirited man.
This is actually what I love about this series. It would have been very easy to coin this series as The Spirited Man and make it all about him, that he is that spirited man. But instead, from the first line of the first video that he made, he's actually inviting people to join him. He's basically saying, do you know what a spirited man is? Well, you might be one. And one look at the comment section and you can tell that it's working. People are identifying with the idea of what a spirited man is, and some have promptly said to themselves, yes, I am a spirited man. But how is he doing it? He's not sitting in front of the camera and telling you this is what a spirited man is and this is what a spirited man does. You should join me as being a spirited man. That's not what he does. And if you've had a chance to watch through the whole series, you'll notice that he never really gave a definitive answer to what a spirited man is. Even after 11 videos, and in those 11 videos, one video titled, Are You a Spirited Man? He's never spoken about exactly what it means. Instead, he's just been providing examples of what a particular spirited man does. By doing this, he's making us ask the questions and forcing us to engage and find out the answer for ourselves. So what does this mean for you and I? What can we learn from Van to better connect with our audience? And this is obviously just my personal opinion. I would love to know what you think. But I don't think we need to start all of a sudden documenting our daily lives so that we can be introspective and share our sort of deepest and darkest authentic self. I think that connections is really just like any other conversation. It can be deep sometimes, and sometimes I just want to talk about Godzilla and Kong. Or like Ollie and Jonathan, who left me comments in my last video, we made a little connection ourselves, coming to the conclusion that maybe this YouTube and making videos is all really about making a connection with the audience. So maybe like Ollie, you just want to find a connection with people who enjoy hanging out and having a beer. Or like Jonathan, maybe you want to share your love for camping solo outdoors, and you need to know how to put a tent up. Or like me, just love sharing the works of the people that inspire you. These are already real connections, I think, but as Fan shows, we can go deeper if we want to. It just depends on what type of connection you want to make. Do you want to just share a laugh and make some snarky comment about the irony of some human nature? Or do you want to just share that excitement of watching the latest episode of the grand MCU story? Or maybe you just want to share the excitement of turning little everyday life stories into movies. And for me, during this time, I think I lean a little bit towards the latter. I want to connect with those of you who are also trying to figure out this YouTube thing by being the most authentic you, by sharing stories that matter to you and connect with people on a genuine level. And with that said, if you're still watching this, thank you. Love you guys. But it's time to work. And the next order of business is